Hi, I'm Bonnie. I'm an introverted, intuitive, feeling, judging type. I've acquired quite a few books in trying to discern my own personality type, and that's kind of my hobby, like figuring people out. So I'm giving you my guess as to Donald Trump's personality type, and I used all the books, many of the books that I have in figuring this out. Okay, I've decided. Donald Trump, I think, is an extroverted, sensing, thinking, judging type. I took some time coming to this conclusion because when I think of Trump, I don't think logic. I don't think of him as aloof as I do when I think of thinking types like Obama and Hillary Clinton. As an ESTJ, Donald's dominant function would be thinking and his inferior function would be feeling. This inferior function may partially explain how under stress he has emotional outbursts, is very hypersensitive when he feels he is being slighted, and this is a quote, takes criticism very personally. Dominant thinking types tend to focus on pros and cons in making decisions, though Donald also said, and this threw me for a while, that his way of making decisions is by using his gut and logic. Extroverted sensing thinking judging types tend to analyze the consequences of each course of action. They look at the costs involved in the alternatives. They focus on the task at hand, not harmony. They care about receiving recognition when their goals have been accomplished. As an introverted sensing type, they have a wealth of stored information about, and this is a quote, how things operate in the real world. They like to, and this is a quote, set goals, make decisions, give orders, and evaluate incomes. They aren't theoretical types. They focus on facts and having their ideas become reality. They tend to be competitive. What strengths might Trump bring to the presidency? Setting clear goals, defining the procedures, marshaling the resources needed to get things done, being decisive, anticipating potential problems of different courses of action, taking in the necessary information before making a decision, taking control of situations, paying attention to detail, keeping things on track and observing timetables, using resources efficiently, setting clear standards, being open, relishing debate, taking charge, being outspoken. As long as Trump was aware of his inferior function, feeling, and took time to think about his values and what provokes his emotional eruptions, he might make a take charge, let's do this kind of president. Now let's look at Trump's inferior function. I think Trump is an extroverted, sensing, thinking, judging type. That would make his inferior function, and we all have them, Donald, don't get upset, which he would show under stress, introverted feeling. Of introverted feeling, Quink says in her book, Besides Ourselves, ESTJs want to be respected more than being liked. And this is a quote, critiquing comes naturally to them, and they often solicit constructive criticism of their work from trusted colleagues. However, they do not appreciate critical comments about their personal qualities, critiques that are personal attacks on their competence or integrity, or unsolicited criticism by people they don't know or respect. This is a quote. They are adept at dealing with crisis situations that don't engage their inferior function. This is a quote. Being quite uncomfortable with their own and others' feeling judgments. A quote. When one of their cherished values is disregarded, ignored, or unappreciated, their inferior feeling is likely to be constellated. At these times, Donald Trump might feel discounted, dismissed, ignored. Feeling unappreciated can be a central thing, can lead to outbursts of emotion and a fear of feeling, says Quink. They often misinterpret comments from others as personal criticisms. Then they lash out at others. Sound familiar? This is a quote. Extroverted thinkers in the grip of inferior introverted feeling lack control and discrimination when expressing their inner emotional states. I thought of Donald Trump as being narcissistic, and he probably is more than a little. But I think a lot of what we see can also be understood in terms of his personality type. This is a quote. Feelings and emotions intruding into the consciousness of an extroverted thinker who is in the grip of inferior introverted feeling are experienced as so alien and overwhelming that they are inexpressible. In other words, this is a dominant thinking type, so feelings are not that expressible for him. Major features of introverted feeling, according to Trump. The triggers of his inferior feeling are disregard of values, others' emotional expressions, and regret of his own harshness. The forms it'll take are hypersensitivity, emotional outbursts, and fear of feeling. And new knowledge that we hope he would come to is recognizing his limits and acceptance of the irrational, and the importance of close companions, trusted companions like his daughter, with which he can talk about his feelings. My advice to Donald Trump would be to surround himself with some intuitives, dominant intuitives, and dominant feeling types to give him other perspectives that a dominant thinking type might not come up with.